Okay, I think we are moving progress. Okay. So can we see now? Can we see contrast now? Can we see that green and black, they have a good contrast? Right? Look at it now. It comes out well. Then look at the other one. Look at that red. It doesn't come out anywhere at all. So you want to use, when you are working with color, you want to use the color that work well together, that have great contrast. Yellow and black, they are great contrast. White and red, they are great contrast. Green and white, they are great contrast. They are going to give you great contrast. In fact, red and black too, they also give you a kind of great contrast, but they are places that are used such, because all the colors have their particular emotions that they pass across. You know, we all know that red means love, it means excitement, it means passion, right? So now green also has, when you see green, this is part of maybe nature, maybe earth, maybe growth, something like that. So now all of those colors, they are important. And before you even choose a color, you must understand the purpose. It has to do with what? The objective of that project. So now the objective should determine the color that you are going to use. Say for instance, you are designing a flyer for a night vigil and you are using a white background. You say night vigil is a night program and you are using a white background. So now at night, will you be able to see anything without light? No, it means that your background must be dark, kind of. Then you can now use bright colors, maybe white, yellow, and all of that. Because normally they are going to, in real life scenario, you are going to have something like maybe like different lightness in the hall, right, where the event is being taken place. So now all those things, those are the things you have to be thinking. Do we get it? So now that's contrast. But this one is by color. Then by size is what we have explained that in the previous slide. So now let's now move forward. Is there anything that is not clear on contrast? Do you have anybody that has any question? Probably people on Facebook too. If you have any question, let us know on contrast. Nobody, right? I think that is clear. Okay, so now let's the next principle we are considering is what is repetition. So the repetition means that you are using this, you are repeating the same elements, and then you are repeating the same elements in your design. When you're looking at repetition, you'll be confused with what? With pattern. Why pattern has to also do with repeated elements, but in pattern, you are repeating different elements on your design. Do you get it now? So now, but repetition, you are repeating the same elements on your design. Look at this sample now. Look at the application here. You can see that it is just what? It is just sample that is being repeated here. Or if it has to do with pattern, it means you can also see what's square here, right? So now it's a combination of different elements, right? Repeating of different elements. That is pattern. But this one is what? Repetition means repetition. You are repeating the same elements in your design. A single element through the design. So that is it. So now you can use this probably when you are working on probably in fact, you can repeat colors. You can repeat shape, right? You can repeat colors, you can repeat shape, you can repeat font on your design. You may say that, okay, it's just one font that I want to use throughout that design. Both your title, both your header, your subtopic kind of, you are using the same font. So that is repetition. So now you may say, okay, I also want to mix color, I want to use serif as my title, then I want to use sans serif for my body copy. That's another way. So if you are doing that, it means you are not repeating it. You understand? You are using serif and sans serif, it means that serif font is not repeated. But if you use serif font as your title, you also use it as your body copy. It means that you have just repeated that font. Do we get it now? So that's repetition. Is repeating a single element through the design, single elements, and you know that that's why you should be able, you should be familiar with the elements of your design. This one is a single element alone on your design. Just what font, you know that font is an element of design. That is typography. It's an element. Shape is also an element. So now you are now repeating only one shape of your design. Do we get it? So let's move further. Let's see repetition in artwork. Let's see it in action. Can we see now? Can we see how this shape is repeated? The same thing but different color. Different color. Can you see? Like a waves. This is what repetition in action. It's the same wash. It's the same shape, the same flow. Everything. That is repetition. We didn't see any other shape that intersects. No. It's just what that shape. Then another one is, look at this color now. Look at this shape. It's also being repeated. The one that has all these image, all these speakers, is also repeated. That shape is repeated. And that, if you look at it, it makes that design, strong. You can see that it's balanced. Hello, can we hear me? Are we following? Okay, I think I have a message. No. Okay, somebody sent a message that before you design, no, it's not necessary. No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. But when you say that before you design, for your design to maintain unity, it means that everything on that design must work together. Your background color must work together with your foreground color, right? Then the other elements on the design, they must also work together. In fact, the size of those other elements must work together. It's not that everything is now occupying every space. Everything they want is now dominating everywhere. So you understand? So now everything must work. That's what we meant. Do we get it? That's what we meant. It does not mean that you use some color. No, that's not what we're talking about. If you look at this designer makes use of what? Yellow and black. And you see that it's unite. If you look at it very well, there is unity in everything in this design. Look at the logo. Small size logo. Then look at the stone. Look at everything. So now look at the contrast here now. Brand design in 2022. So now the person wants us to see brand design in 2022. That is why he makes it yellow compared to what the street reports. This is contrast, a good way of using contrast. And look at this one too. Look at how this one is also repeated. This shape is also repeated. Can you see all those elements coming to action? Then the designers thought that this information is not that important. The Twitter spaces, the date, and all of that, they are not really important to them. So now that's why they make this more smaller. They feel, okay, the most important thing is what this title, after you have seen this one, the next thing they wanted to see on this design is the speakers, the speaker's picture. Then after you have seen that, then you can now explore every other information on it. And bear it in mind that what you need to focus on when you design is to look at for what will catch the attention of your audience. That is what you should focus on. That will be the first thing you should focus on. Because when that one thing attracts them, the people now will be propelled, the audience will be propelled, to look out for other information on that flyer. Look at this one, the street report, brand design is 2022. So now it's more prominent. That will makes me to look out for every other information on the design. It's not about you want everything to appear the same. No, it will not work. But when one thing is more prominent and catches the attention of the audience, they will be propelled to look out for other information, to consume the other information in the design. That's how it works. So now I think we can see repetition at work. Look at how this shape is repeated. Look at how yellow is repeated, right? And we can also see contrast at work. We can see balance at work. This kind of design is asymmetrical design. Balance. Because it's not the same thing that you have on your left, that you have on right. And you can see alignment at work as well. So now this design is aligned left, right? It's not center, it's not central aligned, and it's not right alignment, it's left alignment. All those things are important. So let's move further. So now we are considering pattern now. In principle of design, a pattern is the repetition of more than one design element. We discussed extensively on repetition before we get here now. So now this one is different design elements. And you can see it here now. Look at it. You have square shape, you have circle, you have different one. And that is why all those native, all those attire, traditional attire, that is it. Most of them are made with what? Pattern. Somebody sat down and designed all those patterns. They now printed it on those clothes. That's why you and I are buying all those things today. You can also be a designer if you are in that if that's what you want to focus on as a designer. If you are employed as a designer in a maybe clothes manufacturing industry, right? These are the things that you are likely going to be doing. Be working with different patterns that they are going to be printing on plain materials. Right. So now probably this is what maybe some of us want to specialize in this. Right. So now that's it. So now why repetition focuses on a single element being repeated? Pattern refers to multiple elements repeated throughout the design, e.g., wallpapers and backgrounds. This can be printed as a wallpaper. The pattern that you are seeing is different elements coming together to form a pattern. So now let's see another example. Can you see pattern at work here? This is a kind of an apron or something. Can you see it at work here? Can you see it? So it means that you can use pattern. You can print it on your cloth. You can design something. You can design a pattern on your on your home and print it on your clothes as a designer. Do we get it? Are we following? So let's now move further to proportion. So now proportion in graphic refers to the relationship between size, weight, and other essential elements of design components. So now everything is not going to just be big. You don't want to make maybe your title, your subtitle, your body copy. You don't just want everything to just be big. So everything must be in proportion. You have to give sizes to each and every one of the elements, so that at the end of the day, you can be able to become something that people can consume. So now they have to be in proportion. Proportion means sizes. They must be in sizes. They must be, you must scale them based on their importance and make them work together as a whole. Right? Let's see example. Can you see this one? Can you see proportion at work here? Look at this title. And look at this one. Look at this shape and look at this title. You see that this one is more bigger, right? And this is more small. Can you see proportion at work? Then look at this one. This is big, this is big. Everything is even coming to our eyes at the same time. Then look at this title. They almost taking the same kind of importance. Right? Look at this one. Look at this one. So now this one is a good proportion, good sizing, good scaling, good differentiation, right? Compared to this one. Do you get it now? And in fact, what should be the first thing on this side is the title. It's not even the shape. That's not what we want to see first. That's not what is important to us, because the shape is not really communicating anything serious. It's the title that we want, that should be more prominent and should be more bigger. Then the other one cannot be more small. Right? So that is that about proportion. Then hierarchy, yes. Hierarchy is also a very great, design principle that we need to master very well. So now it says that hierarchy principle in graphics stand out that the most important element in your design also should appear to be the most important. This helps people who will see your design understand better what is the important element or need. It's more like emphasis, right? But they have to be in order. They have to be in order, so that the most important. You have to arrange them based on their importance. The same way in the office place, right? In the workplace, you have your general manager, you have your this, you have your that. So now, and then you either we like it or not. When you enter their office, you will know that okay, this is really a GM office. You understand? So that is how it should be. So that you arrange them based on their what importance. That's what hierarchy helps you to achieve. So now the title of that project is the most important thing. Then you make it more bigger. So now what is the next important information I want my reviewer to see? Then you also give it more the less importance. You will make it less important to what to the title. So that's how that's our hierarchy. So let's now check. And we see now. So now look at this title. It's the most important thing, and it's making the person make it more bigger. Is the one that is making what more kind of attraction, right? Then the next one is what is the heading, and the next important information is what is the subheading, and it's more smaller. So now you can see that you are being targeted on how you have to consume this information. The first thing that will attract you is the title. Then after you have consumed, you have seen the title, what else do I want to see? What else is it that is important to my audience? Is the heading, okay, make it more bigger. What else is it that is more important? Okay, this subheading, make it less, because it's not really important. So that's how it works. Now look at this one, the one on the right. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't work. Right? It's not vice versa. Right? So that is what? That is hierarchy at work. Do we get it now? So when you are designing, you need to guide your viewer on how you want them to do what? To consume your information. After you have seen this one, the next thing I want you to see is what? Is this one. After you have seen this one, the next thing I want to see is what? Is the next one. So now you guide them through, either by the use of color or by the use of sizes. And we saw that at work in the example that I saw, that design that I showed us, that branding, but something that I showed us the other time. So we saw that at work. I think that is clear. So let's move further. So now, another most important thing is what? Is the white space. And we also call it what? We also call it negative space. You don't want to make your design to be one there. You don't want to unpack your design with information. You want to give them spaces. You want to give them land. Right? That is what negative space is all about. White space is all about. Having a free space around your elements, around the element of that. So that you can be able to pick something, pick that one. That is white space. And you can also use it in your logo design. Yes, there are some companies that use white space in their logo design. So that it is the white space that they use to communicate the meaning of their logo. So now white space is actually a really important design element. You need to give your design element spaces to breathe and easily differentiate them from other elements. So now one of the ways, if you want to differentiate one element from another, is to use what? Is to use space. Give them enough of space. Enough of space is important. So let's see that at work. Can we see now? So now looking at this one that is stamped good, you can see that when you see it, it's very appealing. You can see that you have negative space around it, unused space around it. Compared to this one, it doesn't make sense. Everything just, I don't know how to even explain that one. So you don't want to have your design like this. I always have enough space. The design is important. So now let's now see companies. Let's now see designs that also maximize negative space to convey a message to their audience, to convey the meaning of their logo to their audience. So now this is it. Can we see this one? Can we see it? See negative space. Can you see this? What can we see here? Another one is look at shark. Can we see this one? Can we see this one? The FedEx logo. Can we see it? So now it means that you can use negative space to achieve a lot. You can use it to, tell a story about your brand. You can use it to tell what? To tell a story about your brand. All right. So it's important. Yes, okay. So it's important. So now can you see it? So that is the work of what? Negative space. It's not that you have if you look at this slide, say, look at it. I did not even put every information on it. Like I will now jump at everything, scale everything like this, and put this one also like this. It did not make sense to you. Does it make sense now? It doesn't make sense. But look at the way it was before. Look at the way everything is arranged. You see that you are able to consume it better compared to when I made everything large. Right? So now that is the way to think about design. That's the way to approach design. Do we get it now? Yes. So let's move on. So another element we are considering is what? Is movement. So now it has to do with how human eyes interact with your design. How human eyes interact with your design. Because we human, there is a way to feel something. When you see something like the way you want to, like the way you think psychologically, that you want to see the next thing. Without even telling anybody anything. I will show you something. So now, and the most important element in your design must be the first thing people see. We have emphasized this over and over again. And after seeing it, your design needs to lead the viewer to the next most important element, more like what we call hierarchy. It's the same thing that is more like you can also use a movement. We try to explain this story when we're explaining what hierarchy. Right? Look at it now. You say the movement principle in graphic design refers to how the human eyes interact with your design. And the most important element in your design must be the first thing people see. And after seeing it, your design needs to lead the viewer to the next most important element. The person, after the person must have seen that first thing, the person wants to go to the next. So that your design must lead the person. You must lead the person to the next important concept you want them to see. And move them. So now you are moving them from the first information I want them to see to the next information I want them to see. That is movement. Let's now see it in action. Can we see it now? This is the most biggest one that you did. This circle, the first one there. It's the most biggest one. So now after you have seen this one, you want them to move to the next. After they have seen this one, you want them to move to the next. That is how you want them to see it. And compared to this one, does not work. You cannot have these two big something on the same page. Both of them will be contracting the eye of the viewer. You will not be able to know which one to focus on. But this one works better. It works perfectly. This is how you should arrange your elements. The most important one, give it the importance that it requires. Then the next one, so that you guide the way people consume your info. Right? So now I think with that now, we have been able to make justice to movement as well. So now we want to go to the element of design now. Did anybody have any question regarding the principle of design that we just covered? We've talked about repetition, we've talked about pattern, we've talked about hierarchy, we've talked about movement, we've talked about what other ones? It's contrast, balance, proportion, yes, repetition, contrast, what other ones? Unity, right? And what emphasis? So now who has any question? Is there anyone that is confused? It's confusing among the one that we have listed that you don't get, so that I can quickly explain better. So that we can go over it and explain. Anybody with any question? Anybody with any question regarding right? You have a question, right? Do you have a question? Yes. Okay. I'm with you now.
Okay. What about in a case whereby you ask, like among the principle, there is a case that you ask to use two colors and two particular design.
Two what? Two colors and what?
two colors and two shapes, two different shapes and two different colors.
The point is that nobody will tell you to do that because you are the designer here. You understand my point?
Like,
and that is why you must
like
know
for the
your work
pattern.
very well. For the pattern,
Okay.
definitely you can use two shapes to come up with your pattern. Yes, you can even use 10 shapes in your pattern.
Yes.
Do you get it? You can use 10 shapes to come up with a pattern. If you look at all those traditional attire, you see different shapes on it. So now you must, but you must use it very well. Even as you are designing your pattern, you must also decide which elements, which shape do you want them to see first. Because you can't give all of them yellow, black, and all of that, those colors. They will not function. They will not look nice. So you have to increase the saturation of some color and reduce the saturation of some color. And the colors that you are even using must work together. There must be harmony in those colors, even when you are designing, when you are working on a pattern. Most of the time, the people that use pattern are the people that work with branding. Because when you are designing a logo for a company, they also want pattern that they can use as their background and all of that. You understand my point? That is why it's important to understand how to also come with pattern in your design. Do you get it?
Thank you.
So nobody will tell you that this is what you should know. You are the designer here. You are the one that have the experience, and you should educate them when they ask such questions. In fact, the pattern you are going to use many a time you are the one that decides, because you are the one that knows the reason why you want to use it. Do you understand?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
so that's it. Then regarding the color, you are the one that knows the best, for every project, because you have to carry out your research. You have to know the objectives of that project. Then you now choose appropriate color for it. So you want to like I saw one project, one design on Instagram today that is celebrating African creatives. In that kind of scenario, you are celebrating the best. You want to work with gold and black, and that's what they use. You understand my point now? That's what they use in the design. Because when you are saying using gold, you are celebrating the best. The most important. You are celebrating importance. The most important people. And when it's come to color now, gold is the most important. You understand my point now? When you want to communicate the best, you use gold. So now, say for instance, you are now doing such project, and you are now using green. It will not work. They will not even accept it. You understand my point now? So you are the one that will decide which color is best for this project. Then you communicate it. Though there are times that your client will tell you that this is the color that I want, right? And then if that is what they want, you use it for them. But you must know that even as you are using that color, you also look out for the one that complements it. It's not that you will just use another one that does not work with it. Say for instance, they say, okay, we want red in the design. Then you must look out for other colors that can work with that red. You understand? Yellow work well with red, right? White work well with red. You understand my point? In fact, you can even form gradients from red to yellow, which also makes sense. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other question? Any other question regarding the principle of design? Any other question? Okay. What of on Facebook? Do we have anybody that's Do you have anybody? Anybody on Facebook? Okay, let's write down. So let's go to the elements of designs. So now I think I've tried to explain this a bit when we started. I was saying that you want to prepare jollof rice. There are some things that you are going to use to prepare that jollof rice, which are they are the ingredients. So now, for every design you see out there, the ingredients on them, that is what we want to discuss now. What makes your design the ingredient you are going to work with, for you to create any design. That's what we want to work with. That's what we want to talk about. Right. The same way you buy your Maggi, you buy your salt and all of that. So that the same way we also want to talk about the ingredients that we make up your design. Then the roots is what we just discussed. Right. The roots is what we just finished discussing. Do we get it? So let's move forward. So now the first one we are talking about here is what? Is the line. The line is one of the basic elements of graphic design. A line is used to connect two or more points, right? If you draw for how will I put it now? I think I can open my Illustrator now. I will have, in fact, be able to do that perfectly. Let me try. Let me see if that is going to be possible. I'm coming. I want to be practical enough. Okay. I think I'm able to do that. Okay. I'm coming. I want to be practical as well. It has what should I do? I just want us to see all these things at work, right? It's better than, okay, maybe I should use Photoshop then. Okay, let me use Photoshop. Let me just create one document. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share it on it. This one is I'm having a little challenge here. The memory of my system is it's affecting it. It's affecting me to, it's hindering me from opening any other project. Let me see. Please give me some time to see if we can achieve this. It will help us better on this one. Okay, I've been able to close one of them. So let me quickly, I'm coming, I will show you how it will be more easier to understand this way. I'm trying to launch my Illustrator now. That you can see all the elements at work in real life. Can we see my screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, I'm coming. I want to try and show us all how these things work, especially the shape, the color, the fonts, and all of that. Okay. So now, the first thing, let me stop sharing my screen, then I will share. Okay. So now, can we see my screen? Can we see can we see the application? Okay, I think we can see it now. So now,
Yes, sir.
What I want to do now is, we said line is one of the basic elements of graphic design, and a line is used to connect two or more points together, right? So now, this is my pencil, this is my pen tool, right? Can we see it? This is a pen tool. I just select a pen tool. So now with my pen tool, I can draw a line. This is a line that I just drew. Then I can give my line. This line is having it. It's just a straight line. This is a line. Then you can use to form another shape by connecting what? By connecting them together with another line. Let's say, for instance, this is now. Can you see? Can you see? Even with this line now, I've been able to what? I've been able to draw a what? A rectangle with the help of line. Can we see it now? Do we get it? The definition then it can be used to what? To connect two what? Two dots together. More or two dots. Can we see now? We have been able to use common normal line. We have been able to use it to what? To develop another shape. Do we get it? This and that one. And if you flip it like this, you flip it to get it will give you another shape. Can you see it now? This is the one I first drew. I drew this one, I group them together, and I flip them, and it gives me this one. And with this one, if I group them together and I this one, illustrator, I will get another shape with my shape builder too. And I can give it another color. Can we see? Then I delete all the other ones. Do we see the work of line? You can use line to achieve anything. You can use to draw anything. Just line alone, can you see it? I used to draw a triangle. Can you see? This is a point. This is another point. This is another point. I bring them together. They form shape. Can you see? Can use to build ourselves. So now this one, our house, we have already built it. What we just need to do now is to do what? Eat something from here. Then close it, then chop something here. Can we see our room? Then we can even do something like this. Maybe you want to have a window. You can give it white color. It is your own window now. All those old house. Can we see it? So now you have all these things in your head. You just to use the tool to achieve them. So let me delete it. Do we get it now? So now the next point that we are going to be talking about is what? Okay, let me also share my screen. Let me show you what we have on this slide. So now before now, if also stop sharing, then let me share this one also. Now you see this what we have here. Can you see it now? This is a line. This is more thicker than this. Then this is another type of another line. The one in zigzags form. You can achieve all of this in Illustrator. There are functions that will help you to achieve this. If you don't want to draw it on your own, you can. There are functions in those design tools, especially Illustrator, that will help you to get all of this. And you can even download all these shapes sometimes. This is like a wave movement, right? If that is part of what you want, if you need, if your design requires that you use something like this, then why not? You can use it. So this is basically lines you can use to achieve a lot in your design. Right. So now let's move further. So now the next one that we are considering is color. And we are saying color is the most important element of graphic design and the most obvious in design. We can use color for everything as it can be applied to the background, line shapes, or other graphic elements of information. Color in graphic design is very important as every single color generates different emotions. So now we have colors around us. And we all have preferences of colors that we like. Right. So now some people will say, okay, for instance, now for a lady now, you can say maybe pink is their color. Maybe I don't know if they really like purple, but I know ladies pink. Ladies love pink color very well. Right. For a guy now, you can say, okay, maybe blue. Right. Then for children, you can say, okay, maybe children love something like yellow, something like sky blue, all of that. So now for that is for children. So now all these things now will guide you when you are designing. You know the right color to use. Then the choice of color is also important. You must also know the color that works together. And that is why the assignment we are going to be taking up today will be based on color. Right? You want to You want to research on color wheel. That's what we are going to be taking over as your assignment today. Color wheel, color wheel, color wheel. You research on it and bring come up with different type of color. We have monochromatic color, we have complementary color. So now you research on that and read on all those things. Right. So now what I'm going to be showing us now is the psychology behind all these colors. Why do they use these colors? Why do people decide to use? Let me use red. Let me use white. Let me use green. Let me use purple. So that we're going to know the meaning that are associated with every single color that we see out there. So now let's go. And we see now, this is the psychology. I got this resources on Google. You can also get it. Just type psychology of colors. So now red means what? Excitement. It means strength. It means love. It means what? It means energy. Right? When you see a brand, maybe companies, maybe on social media, that you see that they use red in their brand, know that these are the reason why they use it. Because they want to see themselves as an exciting brand. In fact, and basically brands that uses red and maybe gym centers. Because if you are not passionate about this gym routine, it's time consuming. It requires a lot of responsibility for you to be able to make the most of it. So now they want you to enjoy it. That's why you see them using red most of the time. Right? They want you to love it. If you don't love it, but right, for instance, now Valentine, people use. In fact, any competition that you are going to see on Valentine's Day is going to be love. It's going to be red, because love is attributed is associated with red. Energy is associated to be red. There are some. I think is it Red Bull? Red Bull, that energy drink. They make use of red in their branding because they want you to derive energy from that product. Coca-Cola uses red because they see it as a brand that is exciting. And if you check Coca-Cola Instagram page, the image you are going to see on their page, there are people they are smiling, they are jumping. You will definitely see a kind of excitement feelings from those people that use. So now every color has their meaning. There is a psychology behind those colors. Look at orange. So now in Nigeria now, one of the banks that uses orange is GT Bank. And it's simply because orange is kind of youthful, right? So now as a brand that focuses on maybe youth, you want to say, okay, let's use orange. Because it means confidence. And every youth they are expected to have confidence to face any challenges because they are still in their youthful age. They have strength. They have strength to face anything. You must build confidence as a youth. That's why you see them using what? Orange. Because orange also means success. It means bravery. It means sociability. Right? Then yellow means creativity. It means happiness. It means warmth. It means what? Share. And that's why you see most of the time all those children brand. That is why they use yellow. Because they want them to be happy. They want it to catch their attention so that they can call their parents. Oh, mommy, buy me this one, buy me that one. Right? And you look at green. Green means what? Nature, healing, freshness, and what? Quality. That is green. Then you'll be surprised that almost all the social media platforms that we are used today, they make use of green. And you want to ask, why do they use it? Why are they using green? And the reason is because all those platforms, they get our data, they get our information. And when they use that, they want to say, they are telling you that, oh, you can trust us with your information. You can trust us with your data. Beyond the fact that blue also means what? It means intelligence. It means technology. It means innovation, right? It also means security, that your information they are secure with us. It also means trust, competence, loyalty, peace. So that when we are working for as many of us, we are going to be, settling with probably want to become a brand designer. You want to be designing logos for companies. You want to be helping them with their visual identity. You need to understand this psychology very well. You understand? Then see pink now. Pink means compassion. And we know females are compassionate beings more than guys. That's why every mother wants a female child. So that at their old age, they can be able to take care of them very well. Not like guys. Most of the guys are not compassionate. That's the truth. We just need to what? We just need to change that, man. We just need to keep them right. Sincerity, sophistication, sweet. Those are the meanings that are what attributed to pink. Then purple also means royalty. It means royalty, it means luxury, spirituality, and ambition. Then brown. Most brand does not use brown. In fact, hardly will you see any brand that use brown. It's not something that they really use. So now, black, wow. If you are talking about sophistication, you are talking about luxury, black and gold, black and green. That is what you should consider, right? That is why you see Apple. If you check their website, it's only black. Maybe I'm one accent color, right? So it's black. That's what black helps you to get. And then most colors work well on black. Almost every color works well on black, because black and white, they are neutral color. They are neutral colors. So almost every color works well on them. Right. So now look at white. So white means what? Spirituality. It means what? It means holy. It means clean, simplicity, innocent, or honest. Right. So these are the what? Psychology behind every colors. So now when you want to design, you think about, okay, this project, what is the purpose of this project? Who are the target audience? Are they female? Are they guys? If they are guys, you want to consider, and depending on the industry, if they are guys, you want to consider maybe blue. And you know we have different shades of blue. You have dark blue, you have light blue, you have sky blue, you have royal blue, all of that. Then you decide on the one. So now depend on the age. If they are youths, you understand, you want to go, if they are children, you want to use light blue, right? But if they are youth in their 40, 50, you want to use deep blue, kind of. Because the deeper it is, the more mature that we call it. The more mature those colors. The deeper those colors, the more mature. Just see it that way. When they are more lighter, it means they are young, they are more lighter, So see it that way. The same thing as green. The more greener, the more mature, That's how it works. Do we get it? So I think we have been able to. So now the assignment is that we are coming up with what? We are going to come up research on color wheel, different type of combination, how to combine colors. Yes. So now we have, let me just give you an example now. You have complementary colors. You have a triad color, right? So that combination of the colors that work together. I think we also have the triad color, 4 colors on the color wheel, right? Then we also have, there are a lot of them, but just research it, right? So that is the assignment for today. The types of colors that we have. The colors and the type of colors that we have. So now we have talked about the psychology of the colors, right? So now let's now look at shape. The shape is also one of the most basic elements of design. Shapes is in design have 2 dimensions and are measured by their height and width, right? You have the height, right? So that when you have 4 evenly, shape, that one is square. We are with all these things, right? You have rectangle, you have trapezium, you have circle, and even all those shapes, they have a psychology behind them. They have psychology behind them. When you are using a triangle, you are talking about stability. When you are using square, you are talking about reliability. You are talking about integrity, right? So all those shapes, they have their color. When you are using circle, you are talking about maybe human, the heart. You are talking about the world at large, right? So now all those shapes, they have their psychology behind them, right? When you use a shape that is slang, right? It means imitation, confirmation, innovation. Yeah, right. So all those things, they have the color that they communicate to the audience. Especially if you are going into branding, you understand better when we get there. So they can see now. And we also have shape now. We have geometric shape and we have rectangular shape. So now geometric shape are shape that you draw with something like a ruler. Then organic are the one that you draw with your hand. They are not always perfect. They are not always perfect. But you see now, these ones are not, the one on the blue and white outline, they are not perfect. But you look at these ones, they are perfect. Because it's more like you measure them before you draw them. Our time is fast spent. So now we also have size as an element of design. Size is also one of the basic elements in graphic design. As usually, the bigger elements catch your attention faster than the smaller ones. And size of scale is used in graphic design to create more dynamic design projects and to focus the eye on certain elements of the design. So now you want to utilize size, to communicate prominence in your design. You want to give attention to you want to make the most important maybe elements to be more bigger. So you make use of size. Let's look at it now. Can you see now? So now this is more important, a bigger circle, and that is why we use it. Right. So now this is just how it works. Let's move further. So now we also have texture. So now texture is the visual tone of a design. It influences how graphic design feel and look. Right. A quick piece of advice is that you don't go overboard with the use of texture in your design because it can be overwhelming to the eye of the viewer. So now most of the time you use texture with your background, especially when you are working with maybe white background. You don't want it to be plain, right? You just look at some kind of maybe raw kind of background. You just place that background. You now reduce the size so that it will not affect what the other elements of that. We get it, and I will show you an example now. Can we see it? Can we see this guy? These are texture. Right. So now for this red one now, if you are going to place any other element on it now, it means the element must be white, or you tone down the intensity of this texture so that the element on it can come out. Look at the one on the right. They will get it now. So these are texture. Then use it in your design. Right. So now let's talk about typography. I think this is the final one we are talking about today. So now typography is the style or appearance of a text. So now how your text appears, they are what we call typography. In fact, it is important that when you are not designing, you use just one font, but with several weights. For instance, now this project now I've been using Montserrat as the typeface that I've been using. And this one is more bolder than this one. So now meaning that I can use one font, even as a starter, just stick with one font. So now when we have now understand how to pair fonts, then you can now start using two fonts in your design, right? So now maximum of two fonts in your design, minimum of one. In fact, one is important. Just stick with one, the maximum of two in your design, right? So now, then we have three types. There are several. I think there are 4 of them type of fonts because we have serif fonts. You have sans serif fonts, then you have display fonts, you have script fonts. When you speak of all those where they cut, you see some kind of font that are playful, that are like cursive in nature. Those are script fonts. Then this one's now. Let me try and show you. Let me search on Google and just show you that before we round off for today. Typography. Sans serif. Copy, please. Just search something on Google. Just say, okay. I've seen one. Let me copy it. Let me just paste it. Okay, now let me show you now. This is too blurry. This is not sharp. Okay, I think this should work. Okay. Copy image. Now we see now. So now, in fact, when you are working on projects, the most important one that you are going to be working with are basically serif fonts and sans serif fonts. So now other ones are based on maybe it depends on that project anyway, because other projects they are going to be using maybe cursive fonts, right? What you are going to be using, because maybe you are working on maybe wedding card or maybe invitation card or celebration card. That's what you are going to be using cursive, right? But most important when it comes to visual communication, maybe on your website, on your printing and all of that, or social media, you are going to be working basically with what? With serif font and what? And with sans serif font. So now sans serif font does not have, they are the one that have stroke. They are the one that have stroke on them like this. Can you see this edge? Can you see this place? This place, this down. Can you see? These are what? Serif font. And they are basically used to communicate seriousness, formal, legal. And that is why you see majority of the these companies now, the law firm, they use serif font because it's a serious type of font. That's why you want to communicate serious information. You use what? You use serif font. That's why most legal practitioners, they use what? They use serif font. In fact, most luxurious brands too, like Rolls-Royce, they use what? Serif font, because it means seriousness. It can also depict what's it called now? Sophistication, right? It can also depict luxury, right? So now that's why you use serif font for all those communication. All those big brands that are, selling luxurious something, luxurious product, most of them use what? They use serif font. Then sans serif font does not have this, this tail, we call it tails on them. They are just clean, and they are the font that you see everywhere. The one that I'm using on this design, they are what? It's also a serif, sans serif font, right? Because I'm not communicating anything serious and all of that. So it's friendly, it's approachable. So those are the psychology behind them. So maybe you also want to read on font typography as well. Probably I'm going to share. Let me try and send something to you now, so that you can also coming. Let me see if I can get okay. I think I'm able to get it. Okay, no, I didn't get it. Okay, I'm going to send a link to you now that you can watch further. How many of us are on the group? Let me see. It is the link. You can read up from there. Typography theory. So now it's a video stuff that you can read, because there are a lot of information about on it, right? Because you also have canning, you also have leading, you also have, but when we get to design, we are going to still talk further on that. So that's why I don't want to spend more time on it at the moment, because we are going to be working with font when we start designing, right? And we are going to be explaining, more on that. That's why I don't want to waste too much of my time, right? So now, can you see now? This one is what? Typography is what? This is a sans serif font, because it does not have all those jara around it. But sans serif font has those jara. These are serif fonts. Can you see them? These are serif font. So now that video will help you to what? It will help you to learn more on what? On typography, because that is what we are going to be working with. In fact, typography and what? Your color, they are very, very crucial. Right? Because most from experience now, what we designers used to find difficult to get, they are just basically how to combine colors. And I must tell you that they are not hard. That's the truth. They are not hard. They are not hard, because there is always a way around it. So they are not hard. It's not something that is maybe a rocket science. No, they are not. And we are going to be seeing, you are going to see that they are not hard as we proceed in this training. So now I think with that, we have come to the end of this training. So it's question and answer time. Do we have anybody that asks any question? If you have any questions, so please. So next class, we are going to be talking about we are going to be visiting a lot of websites where we are going to, where you can get inspiration, where you can get resources and all of that next class. So probably we are also going to start design, but I'm not sure. But we try as much as possible to explore websites where you can get design inspiration, also download the resources and all of that. So that's what we are going to be, basically what our next class is going to focus on. We might not have any slides that next class. Yes, it's basically going to be a practical class. We'll just be exploring things together, then we're analyzing, design, right? A lot of designs and see, how they are able to apply all these principles that we have been talking about, right? Okay, I think there is a question. Okay. Okay, it's not, there's not a question. It's not a question. So now, any question and answer, please, before we round off, please. Question? Any question? Any question, please? How about on Facebook? Do we have any question? Any question, please? I think there is no question. The absence of none, I think come to the end of this class. Do we have any? Do we have any on Facebook? No.
You have done justice. Thank you, sir.
What is it? Please come again.
I said you have done justice to this one today.
Okay. No problem. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. So now next class is going to be, these are the theoretical aspect of it anyway. So next class we start the practical. It's not that we want to design next class. We might not get to design, right? But we are going to start with the practical because we still have next week, So probably we are going to be spending 3 classes, to design. Do we get it? So I don't want to bother with much information. In fact, we have done a lot today. We have done a lot. I was thinking that we were going to stop at principle.
Hello,
right?
please.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
have a question from Facebook.
Okay.
What about making a design realistic? Is it among the principle?
Yes, it's part of, I forgot to mention that, and that is form. Yes. So, and that is called form in the principle, right? You want to make it, and form has to do with 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. So now if you want to make your design realistic, you have to look at the 3-dimensional aspect of it by adding maybe shadow to the design or by adding light to it. You understand? So those are the ways to achieve that. So you want to add shadow. Imagine you just placing maybe you remove the background of maybe bottle of pure water, right? And you just place it on the design, on your canvas, on your white canvas. You know, it will just be plain. But if you want it to be realistic, as though it is that particular bottle of pure water is sitting on the floor, it means you have to add a kind of shadow underneath, so that it will now appear as though is seated on the floor, right? You also want to add more light, to show that shadow, that effect. So those are the way to achieve it. Then another aspect is that you also want to the aspect that we call also manipulation, right? Is wide anyway, but basically is form. Is form. You can read further on that form as an element of gravity, as a principle of gravity design. Is form that you use to achieve that. And it's either in 2-dimensional form or 3-dimensional. So you want it to be realistic, you look at 3-dimensional aspect by leveraging shadow, light to your design, right? And that's what I've just explained. And I've used bottled water, yes. The can of bottled water as an example, or maybe can of malt as an example, right? So that's that. Is better fine with the answer? Please help us to confirm if the person is clear about it. Is the person fine before we move on? Okay. To your slide before you share it. Include this principle to your. Okay. I will try and do that. I will try and do that. Let me just show you a practical example of that question that was asked. Let me show you now. I think my screen is still okay. This is it. Okay, a moment. If this is what the person meant, anyway, we are going to be sure now. Why is this taking forever to load? Can we see this now? Can we all see this? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, see, can you see how realistic? It's more like they just took the photograph of this stuff. And I'm telling you, they didn't took the photograph. It's only the shoe. They removed the background and they now add shadow to it. Can you see? They duplicated it, they now flip it. They reduce the opacity of one, the opacity of it. And that's why you are able, it's now looking real. Like, you understand, as if it's placed on a flat surface. And it's only on what? On white canvas, on a plain surface. Right? But because of that that shadow that they've added, it now makes it more real. Right? So that is just that. There are ways to do that. We are going to get to that anyway. I'm going to show you all of that in our design when we get to the practical aspects. I think that's that. If I'm able to understand the question that the person was asking, if that is what the person means, but these are the way to make your design to achieve realistic kind of design, right? Yeah, by making use of form, which is in 3-dimensional, Okay. I think we are fine. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. So we continue on Wednesday, and I've already told us that we are going to be considering design resources and all of that. So by Wednesday, we see what we have to cover. Thanks so much, Scott, for joining. Thank you, Favor. I celebrate you. Please work on the different type of colors that we have, right? Research on them. We have complementary, we have analogous and all of that. Then also work on, try and research on typography. I've shared the link with you already. That will be your assignment for tomorrow, right? So work on it tomorrow. Then by Wednesday, I am sure that we must have all get all we need to get regarding color and the typography. So when we now come to class on Wednesday, if you now have any question, then we can now trash it out together. I will show you practical example of probably if it's applicable enough, then we practicalize it. Yes. So that's all. That's all for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. We celebrate you. See you in next class. See you on Wednesday. We'll be having the next class. Thank you.